Do you struggle with which cabin to select on a cruise ship? Well, I'm going to tell you which cabin you should avoid on a cruise ship. If this is something you're interested in, then stay tuned because this video is for you. Hey fellow travelers, this is Norman Payne from Up and Away Travel. Thank you for stopping into my channel and welcome back. This channel is about everything travel. I mean everything from travel news, travel hacks, travel tips, to destination videos. If you want to be a more informed traveler, then hit that subscribe button right now. Today we're gonna talk about what cabin should you avoid, because there are some cabins that you should not get depending on your liking. I know I like certain cabins, but some cabins are not for everyone. And you need to know which cabins you should get and which cabins you should not. So here are some tips for you to select the best cabin that fits you the best and which one you should avoid. So you should know an interior cabin is very cramped. It is a small cabin. It is the smallest cabin on any ship. Sometimes they call the interior cabin an inside cabin. These cabins can be the smallest of anyone on the ship. The average room in a house runs about 200 square feet. An average cabin runs about 185 square feet. So think about that when you're picking an inside cabin or interior cabin. Some of them are even smaller, about 174 square foot. Now you can find this out by going on a ship's layout on their website. You might get lucky and find an inside cabin about 260 square foot. That is some of the deluxe inside or interior cabins, but they are very rare. Remember, if you find an interior cabin that has some of those balconies that look over into the promenade or the veranda area or something like that, they include that look over, that walkout area part of the cabin. That is not part of your dressing, sleeping, and showering area. Be sure you consider that when you're selecting these cabins. I wouldn't select an inside cabin if you're claustrophobic. Cabins with obstructed view. Now, a cabin with obstructed view will be cheaper than a normal cabin, say an Oceanview cabin. If it has an obstructed view, it may be cheaper than the regular Oceanview, but you won't be able to see anything because it might have a life raft or some type of hardware where you can't see. Now, some of the balcony cabins that have obstructed view, you may still be able to go out on your balcony, but it may block you from seeing some of the other natural things like the ocean. You might be able to get a sunrise or a sunset, but you might not be able to see just the general ocean. So watch out when you're getting an ocean view with an obstructed view or a balcony with obstructed view. I would avoid those if you want to see the ocean. If you want to sit out there and just get fresh air and save some money, might be okay. But avoid it if you want to see the ocean. If you are a light sleeper, watch out for noisy cabins. What is a noisy cabin? One that's under the gym or the basketball court or the water feature where the kids are playing, or one that's under the nightclub or the live music venue, or even the one that's under the Lido deck where people are getting food. I got my first cabin under the nightclub, and it was thumping all night long. I mean, pounding, pounding, pounding. I didn't know it. This was new to me, and I did not know that I was going to be able to hear the nightclub thumping, throbbing, bouncing. I mean, all night long. So going to sleep early wasn't happening. It kept me awake until that nightclub closed. And sometimes the nightclub stays open until the last person leaves. So that could be long into the morning on the last night of the cruise, because people want to get that last party in. If your cabin is in that area, you may stay awake the last night of the cruise like I did. Now, they have some cabins that have no privacy. I mean, they have those sliding doors that are open, and you can pull the curtain, but people can walk by, and it's hard for you to cover up the whole sliding door in the hallway. If you get one of those cabins, you will have a problem with people peeping in your cabin while they're walking through. There are some ways to get around that, but if that's going to be a problem, I would avoid that type of cabin. They have these sliding doors and these curtains that go the whole length of the window, but sometimes it doesn't cover up. So either you plan to have those curtains where you can fix them where they can cover up everything and there's no light coming in, but sometimes somebody can peek in those curtains. I mean, it's not that they putting their head in there looking in, but sometimes there's no privacy. Cabins that make seasickness worse, like cabins at the top of the ship or in the front of the ship, those will make you sick because the motion is all the time. If your cabin is at the top of the ship, it will feel all of the motion. If it's in the front of the ship, it's gonna hit all of the waves. I would avoid those if you get seasick easy. Please don't get one that's high on the ship. Get lower, get lower, get lower. Stay away from what they call a guaranteed cabin. Be sure that you get a cabin number. I would avoid a guaranteed cabin unless you don't mind wherever they stick you. Some people get those guaranteed cabins and no cabin number in hopes of getting an upgrade. But that is the last cabin to get assigned. Sometimes you get the bottom of the barrel. If you don't mind getting the bottom of the barrel, go for it. But I would avoid that if you have a problem with certain cabins on the ship. If you have a problem with getting put in the front of the ship, or if you have a problem getting put under that nightclub, so get a cabin number. Avoid what they call a guaranteed cabin and no cabin number. Some people like them so that they can get that upgrade, because sometimes you luck up and you get these upgrades to a higher cabin level, but sometimes you get a bad situation. I just say, always pick the cabin that suits you the best. Don't allow gambles. If you have a problem with anything on the ship, pick your cabin. I would pay for the cabin that suits you the best, that you are good with. Get that cabin and do not gamble on thinking you're going to get a better cabin by gambling with a guaranteed or anything like that. Pick the cabin that suits you the best. Well, that's all I have for you today. Leave me a comment. Let me know what you think about this video and any video that I put out in the last month, year, any of them. Also, like this video, give it a thumbs up. Share this video with anybody who cruises. Subscribe to my channel. Subscribe to my channel helps me grow. Also, hit that notification bell so you'll know the next time I upload another video. Until our paths cross again soon, I'll see you then. Peace.
Please like this video, share it, and subscribe to my channel. Also follow me on all my social media. Just hashtag #UpUpUpNorman.